To tell a story, we need the storytellers, and this we've introduced to you in the first clip released in the month of March 2020. I am Balkis Amza. The Diary of Zuru was bettered by creative and inquisitive minds of core members deployed to Kebbi State in the year 2019 of its history. And today we'll be discussing the history of Zuru, the art of Kebbi State. People makes up the society, and in order to know and understand their origin, past events needs to be taken into cognizance. Here, we've traced the oral traditions and political, socio-economic vantage point of the people of Zuru, Kebbi State. Zuru, to be precise, is a town, or we can call it a settlement, or let me say a local government area located in the southeast part of Kebbi State. And then it has four local government area called Danko Wasagu, Fakai, Sakaba, and Zuru. It is of the latitude 1 degree 11 degree west and longitude 4 degree 6 degree east. It shares boundary with Niger State, Darankagi. It has natural geographical steep-sided hills, which are of quarter-sized rocks and with little or no soil, so there is no way for plants to grow in this area. But then at sunset, the pictures are amazing. Zuru by its ancestors was called Zugazurani or Azuguru, and this means a swampy forest or forest land where lions lived. So in this beautiful part of Kebbi State used to be the habitation for lions. The Zuru people are also called the Lelna people because they are of the Lelna descendant. Interestingly, these people are known to be hunters and trained warriors. And according to Prince Bawa Bako Amos, in his text called The Zuru People, he says the Hausa man, or let's call them the Hausa leaders imposed by the colonial masters during the colonial era, couldn't call the name Azuguru or Zugazurani, so they decided to start calling it Zuru, and that is how they started calling the name Zuru. Other names in the history of Zuru was also changed. Names like Senche was called Senchi, Manga it used to be Umanga, Dabai used to be Udaba, Riba used to be Uriba. So names like this were called in different tones just because they couldn't pronounce these words in the way it should be pronounced. The people of Zuru are of different ethnic groups, so we can say they are multi-ethnic people. There are people who are the traditionalists, the Christians, and the Muslims. And then in Zuru, inter-religious marriage is allowed. There is no household you enter in Zuru which doesn't have the three religions. And then it was said that due to political aspirations, that's why many became Muslims. But even the current ruler of Zuru is a traditionalist. There are lots of languages in Zuru, but then the one generally spoken is the Lela language, and there are other languages we include Sensei, Dabna, Mangana, Pani, Koferono, and Kokno, and to mention a few. Like every culture, they all have their festivals. Zuru has a different type of festival, and then which the three most important ones are the Uhola, Dibiti, Baledima festivals. The Uhola festival takes place around the month of December. Biti takes place around August and September, and all these are dependent on the dialect that is going to celebrate this particular festival. The Ola festival can be said to be the most important festival in Zuru, Kebbi State, because it is the month in which Golmo occurs. Now, Golmo is said to be an institution to train young boys into men. It's an institution that trains them from childhood to the main stage, and then this institution involves training them for teamwork, practicality in life, and everything that has to do with being a man. Now, to go further, we notice that Golmo also has a marriage institution underneath it, and then this is where whoever wants to marry anybody or any girl in Zuru, Kebbi State would have to serve the would-be father-in-law for 7 years before being allowed to marry this lady. So Golmo marriage contract is used to train young men into manhood. They are trained to be warriors and hunters, and aside from that, according to this history, it is said that they are following the biblical Jacob in what he did to marry the woman of his dreams. This aspiring husband would serve his would-be father-in-law for 7 years, and then he would also see to the needs of his wife-to-be. Can't you see it is amazing? Men of today, do you think you can still do that? But the people of Zuru, Kebbi State still practice this amazing culture. There is also something in Golmo called Golmo skin remover, which is for 3 years of a young man's life. In these 3 years, he wears nothing, not even singlets, not even shoes during the rain, but animal skin around his waist, just like Adam in the Bible. And it's amazing how these men does this with pride and, valor, because it's amazing when you see them on this thing. We would have loved to give you pictures, but then these people cannot be snapped. So we are sorry you wouldn't be able to see them during this skin removal period. History has it that during the jihadist era, when most of the north were conquered, Zuru wasn't. And then I asked why, and it was said that because there's a particular place in Zuru called Dabai. It was a no-go area for these people. But then Rumu in Zuru was dealt with seriously, and also in Penny, people were massacred, and that is where the said successor of Usman Fodio died, and he was buried in Kotangora, which is like the border between Zuru and other part of Nigeria. Now, when we asked about Dabai, Dabai is like one of the most important places in Zuru, Kebbi State. It is one of the 5 chiefdom areas of Zuru, Kebbi State. The 5 administration for the chiefdom in Zuru includes Dabai, Danko, Fakai, Sakaba, and Wasago. So of all these places, the chiefdom comes from Dabai, and then all of this chiefdom takes orders from the emir of Zuru, Kebbi State. And the emir is a traditionalist, like I said earlier. No one is forced to take up any religion. Though the emir is a traditionalist, and he's also the one giving order to every other chiefdom, or let me say every other district head, because Dabai is where the chief is, and then we have the district heads from Wasagu, Fakai, Danko, and Sakaba. The first emir of Zuru, Kebbi State was the person of Brigadier Muhammad Sani Sami, who was once a governor of Bauchi State. After a coup on 31st December 1983 that brought President or General Muhammadu Buhari to power, the present emir of Zuru is in the person of Major General Muhammad Sani Sami, who is a retired Major General to be precise, and is also known as Sami Gomotu. He is from Dabai of Kebbi State, and which is why I said Dabai is one of the most important places in Kebbi State. In Dabai, the chiefdom and emir title only comes from 5 families, which include the Akadada family, the Dambana family, the Gomana family, Binjuznu family, Kaunu family, and Tarani family. Now, it's interesting to note that from ages to ages, the Akadada family has been producing the emir of Zuru, Kebbi State. So from ages to ages, the Akadada family would rule Zuru, Kebbi State. And currently, the emir in the person of Major General Sami Gomo is also a member of the Akadada family, also known as the Sami Gomo family. Let me tell you something. Call a Zulu man an Hausa man and he would not forgive you, because he feels he has his dialect, his language, his culture, his traditions, and everything pertaining to him, and calling him an Hausa man is like bastardizing him. So please, when you are in Zulu, call no one an Hausa man, because you might not be calling an Hausa man. History wouldn't be complete without important events that made landmarks, which might in turn become tourist centers. For Zuru Kebbi State, we have few places. Number one, we have the Gelmati Crocodile Shrine, where there is live crocodile, in which the clip will be brought to you very soon. We have the Parudawa Wanta, in which it is said during the jihadist era, the ladies were trying to escape from the caliphate of Usman dan Fodio here in Zuru, at Urumu. A particular lady was almost captured, and then she decided to turn into stone. Isn't that amazing? And then during this process, she didn't turn completely before she was struck with a cutlass by those chasing her, and then she died there. But the part that has turned into a stone is still there to date, and then people decide to make the place a worship center. And that place is Tarubaba. We're going to get more information on that to you very soon. And we have the Wolkanda, which is believed to be an ancient hiding place during the war. It is said that when you are in this particular cave, you can move from Dabai to Senchi within this cave, and this is where the ancestors of Zuru during the war eat themselves in most of the times, so that the people would not get to them. But then, as interesting as this episode is, would like to end it here with a saying: there is more to come. There are more clips, more videos, and more audios for you to listen to. And at this point, we say thank you very much for following us through this journey. I am Amzad Balkis Timitokwe, and this is Up North, Diary of Zuru, from Batch C Core Members 2019.